excited to present a little bit of our work together with Osman. But before, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Dieter Tuzar. I'm in charge of HMI and user experience design at Forvia. Some numbers. You might know Forvia with the former name Forvia. So since shares of Hella has been bought by Forvia, we have renamed our company to Forvia. So we basically cover seating, automotive seating, interior systems, automotive electronics, and also interior and exterior lighting. And it might be surprising for you, but we are part of the big 7 on global level. We have a global footprint. And you might also be surprised that in 1 of 2 cars, statistically, one Forvia product is built in. Our mission, so basically we are trying to pioneer technology inside of mobility experience that makes sense, that matter to people. So sure to respect automotive safety aspects, integrate our automotive intellect, and to offer here also sustainable and customizable solutions in the area of automotive interior design.
So, my name is Osman Dumbuya. I'm the founder and manager, director of Incari Studio. And that's a Berlin-based company that converted from a service company that we started with in 2011 to an IT company in 2015. Our goal and purpose is to build an HMI solution that helps people to create much more easy the whole software stack that's needed in a very, very early stage of development of the results and of the whole interface that we want to see at the end in the final product. To get this started, we had a lot of support from some of our customers to go through the whole development process and align with all the personas which are involved in this type of developments, from the creative areas until the integration areas. And therefore, we provided one integrated solution, which is Incari Studio, that brings all the players onto one platform to collaborate, work simultaneously on the result, and thereby already provide a very, very flexible and interactive solution that allows you to early start with testing and research about the concept that you have in mind to deploy at the end in your final product. So one of our key focuses was really to bring all personas together, to work together in parallel instead of going through sequential processes that we often see today. Our key benefits, I just want to stick with the most important KPIs, is that we are fast on the one hand, provide you an interactive solution that allows you to quickly have functional prototypes, and on the other hand, keep it as simple as possible, that basically already designer can look into the concept and work with the integration and see what special features they want to integrate in their final solution. Therefore, we always look that we provide tools that designer can handle. This is also part of our product design, that it appeals to our dedicated target group. And we also ship a lot of plug-and-play technologies that allows you to interconnect all sorts of peripherals into your ideas to assess if you want to have eye tracking or gesture control. So multimodality was built in from the get-go. In terms of ease of use, we also support drag-and-drop logic editors. So you program by connecting nodes which embody the running code inside of it. And so it's not just on a demonstrational purpose, even on a functional purpose, you will be able to integrate all sorts of peripherals and functionalities into your UI design. Another topic that we also started from the get-go was to integrate a complete holistic 3D environment, because people are moving more into 3D content creation inside of a car. It starts with augmentation, where you already need 3D data, but also in terms of visualization, people want to have 3D capabilities. That is also integrated into our tool.
Yeah, you might know Forvia from Shanghai Motor Show, from EAA. You might know our demonstrators that we built to showcase believable technology innovation that we can offer to our customers. And here I would like to introduce a demonstrator that we have built for the CES 2023 with the main objective to show here our solutions for sustainable materials, natural fibers, radiant panels, but also other topics like the modularity to set up basically a cockpit that you can cover a low line, midline, and high line, configured car. Last but not least, also user experience, human-machine interaction becomes more and more important in in-car experiences, and here we have showcased basically an immersive experience into an HMI that leads to less driver's distraction and higher acceptance. We face in HMI design development huge challenges. So we are designers and not programmers, as you can imagine. We are very good in understanding humans, users, to offer here solutions that are aesthetically appealing and excite people. But when it comes to programming, and I'm talking here machine-to-machine logic, we are very weak as designers. So there is a knowledge gap basically in design studios to generate interactive models, but there is also basically a big gap, a big pain point that the industrial design development of interior and exterior are almost running parallel to HMI design development. So there is very, very late some connections where we really can address this holistic approach that we would like to achieve. Here you might see on this slide again the two swim lanes in the actual process or the conventional process, the industrial design swim lane with very, very late final demo implementation. And this is the same for HMI design development. Basically, you do your creation with your specific tools. This could be Illustrator, Photoshop. You go over to Figma. Here you can do basically your simple click prototypes. Then you have to hand over to a software developer. There is a lot of friction loss in behavior, in transition animations, but also in the look and feel. And very, very late in the development process, you are confronted with a final demo that you basically then restart to optimize the errors that you discover. So not yet, please.
I was too fast.
So here we would like also to continuously explore new solutions, new possibilities, new tools available, and Incari Studio has offered to us a solution for evaluation where we can basically have a direct importer of Figma user interface assets into into Incari Studio. Here we can basically, as designers, generate simple click prototypes, but also more complex logic interaction when it comes to more complex interactions between display arrays that we face in nowadays automotive interiors. And also the possibility, the first time, basically, to have a integrated workflow, to integrated toolchain where we can use this model inside of VRED to do our perceived quality validations, but also the first usability and user experience testings. And you see here basically the advantage of the very close and very integrated workflow with an integrated tool. Yes, so basically I already mentioned it. We need to reduce time to market. So we have a very, very big pressure, time, money, projects, also resources. We need to be faster, to have a more integrated development process that starts very early and to be at the end meeting all quality requirements and all standards and high expectations when it comes to user experience design. So we assume that Incari is a very good tool to help us to streamline this development process. So we have experienced that there is no big coding knowledge needed, so we don't have to study again computer science in order to make our experiences experienceable for our users. You have to understand that user experience design is a process. It's a process that puts the user into the center of the development to identify problems users have with new technology, services, products, or car interiors. And this is in need of constantly testing with users. Yeah? You have to iterate with users in order to identify what could be these problems that we don't know as designers, because we do have our mental models that might exclude basically the mental model of our customers. So that's very, very important to start with low fidelity simulations or prototypes, and then over the development time to generate higher fidelity prototypes until the final high fidelity interactive prototype that you basically sell then to your senior management. Yes, so basically usable for designers, very important, but also this side-by-side development also with industrial design. We have to team up, we have to work on in one holistic project and to tackle very early together with industrial design, and also to use basically tools that are established in industrial design like VRED to validate our HMIs.
So, having all these issues and obstacles in the design process, we took the challenge to prove to Forvia that software development can be done much faster, especially HMI development. So we proved to Forvia that we can implement all their designs and all their visions they had within 1.5 weeks. At least to have our first iteration and have a first benchmark to see how things are integrated and how they work. We integrated this not just from the visual point of view, but we also integrated functionalities for lighting, for sound, for haptics, touch functionalities, and we covered the whole software development process for HMI creation with functional integration within that project. So from the first sketch to the production-ready system, we were able to realize this in just 10 days, which is quite remarkable, and we have discussed this often compared with other processes. This is state-of-the-art and is unmatched. So we see a huge benefit, especially for those people who are in the early design and want to have an understanding and a feel about, in which direction the integration works, how UX and UI ergonomics will work out at the end in their cars or in their products. It's not just limited to cars. This was a very, very nice showcase that we were able to realize with Forvia. Since I'm talking about the fact that we are addressing people who don't have the deep understanding and deep experience of software development, we focus on providing a set of nodes that allow you really to build your design and build your applications how you want the application to function at the end. Therefore, of course, there are a lot of questions that people are less familiar with, right? Which protocols do I need to communicate with my peripherals? How do I communicate with external other devices which might have like CAN bus connections? Then we're talking about drive chain communication channels which are running through the car, or protocols which are running through the car that you have to address. How do I get feedback from LiDAR sensors and parking sensors and all these type of things, because I need to reflect that in my UI. We provide all these communication stacks and layers that you just can integrate them into your design creation process from the get-go, very, very early on. As I already referred to, multimodality is very important nowadays. When we talk about HMI, people switch from voice interaction to touch interaction to eye tracking and all these sort of things. These are features and integrations we already provide as nodes, as tools that you can directly access and integrate in your design feedback. And at any time, you always have instant feedback. Even though we provide all the efficient written nodes, we don't even expect that the designer will then build the perfect code. But you can work in parallel. While the designer is focusing on the visual aesthetics, you can have engineers which can look at the code and optimize the code for your target hardware, for your target output devices. And we provide all the flexibilities to have the compilation done at the end so that you can seamlessly export into your products that you have built. This process reduces significantly the whole development time. And we will show this. We are not just talking about this. If you want to have more information, reach out to my colleagues. We are here. We can give you a live demo about how it works. But in a short, we will show you in a video how it looks like today.
Okay, so let's summarize. I think Incari has proven with Incari Studio that the process can be optimized, time can be saved, can be leaner, much better in validation and decision making. Closes the gap between industrial design and really also the implementation that is normally also outsourced and very difficult to track in real time. And also very helpful and brings a lot of value to do the first usability and user experience testings of HMI design development inside of VRED. And we at Forvia, we will continue to evaluate Incari Studio to really become a standard for HMI development inside of our company.
So.
And now you can enjoy a little movie that is again summarizing the complete development process.
Oh, thank you. Here you go.
Forvia is a global automotive technology supplier. Forvia is focusing on becoming the preferred innovation and integration partner for OEMs worldwide. We combine seamless display, lighting, electronics, and modular architecture to create a multimodal cockpit experience. And then we are able to individualize and personalize the experiences between driver and passenger based on their respective user needs.
One of the main challenges was the late integration of UX/UI into the overall development process. When UI elements were implemented, there was a little room left for testing and refinement. There was also a gap between design and physical implementation, needing multiple interactions. It was difficult for us to fill the gap between digital visualization and functional demonstrator. It would have been very interesting to do it in-house and connect with our VR environment. At the end, we had to limit control of the development tool. We are designers, not programmers. We realized that we need a smoother and more integrated process, starting much earlier and in parallel of development phase. We were already familiar with Incari and we appreciate their approach. No code, 3D first, and highly visual. What finally convinced us to contact them was their native integration into VRED, which is a core part of our visualization process.
We started by giving Incari a tough challenge: rebuild the UI of our 2023 demonstrator at high speed and with full functionality.
And we accepted the challenge. We set out to prove that Incari Studio is fast, efficient tool that reduces bottleneck and enables real-time feedback from early stage on. It took us 1.5 weeks to deliver a fully interactive HMI inside VRED with lighting, sound, haptics, and touch functionality working live.
Designers and engineers work together in the same environment, without the need for handovers, re-implementation, and switching between tools and workflows. Multimodal interactions, including audio, lighting, sound, and haptics, are supported from the very first beginning and can be tested from early stages on. Compared to traditional workflows, we think Incari can reduce the development time significantly. Developed in Incari Studio, HMIs can move towards series production in fewer steps. With Incari Studio, you always have full flexibility, whether you want to stop at a functional prototype or you take it all the way to series production. The choice is yours.
Incari has clearly demonstrated the added value that Incari Studio offers in terms of time and cost efficiency. Thanks to its seamless integration in VRED, which is already a core part of our workflow, Incari Studio appears as a very credible solution for us.
Yes, and now you see how the loop is closed from the very first presentation that we have seen this afternoon from Autodesk, where we have seen a really interesting intro into the different tools in between Alias and VRED, and the vertical list of possible tools. You see now that here with Incari Studio, there is an additional tool that helps us also to integrate the full HMI development into the tool chain, into the development flow.
Exactly. So, as said, please reach out to us if you want any detailed information or live demonstration. We're happy to help and assist and support this process. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your attention.